Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today is very exciting. I'm actually on my way to meet up with Luis, a very amazing mobile filmmaker. Alrighty, meeting up with Luis himself. There he is. Luis, hello.
Taylor.
How are you?
I'm good.
Wow,
Hello.
we're glowing. Luis, everybody, the lovely Mi Creator,
Hello.
makes amazing cinematic films on Xiaomi phones. So excited to be with you.
Amazing to be here.
So we're gonna go into the Redwoods today and shoot some cool stuff. We want to kind of keep this tutorial style and give you guys some tips for shooting great video and great photos. And we're gonna be shooting on what phone?
B10T Pro.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
What is that? All right, so we found this postcard at the entrance of the park, and Xiaomi's name is on the back. So we're taking this as a challenge to shoot photos beyond the postcard. So our goal here is to get a postcard-worthy photo that's better than this one.
Should we take a crack at it?
Let's do it. We'll use
Okay.
it as a challenge.
Yes. We will knock this challenge out.
Let's shoot something better in here than this.
Let's do it.
Can you do it?
I think so.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. All right, so today is a photo challenge, as we now know. I will be shooting photos on the Mi 10T Pro, but you have a different plan of attack.
I do.
Okay, let's hear about it.
Okay, so today I'm actually going to be shooting video in 8K mode, 8K and 4K. And what that's going to allow me to do is pull stills from the video at a really high resolution that will be plenty enough for a postcard.
Wow.
So that's how we'll do it today.
I love it. You
Yep.
ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right,
Ready
let's
to
go.
Let's do it. So shooting in the woods, any woods you're at, you're gonna get a lot of spots where light's coming through and, you know, darkness, shadows. I think you could use that to your advantage in terms of creating a composition using the light. Not necessarily just framing, but using negative space or the spots that are really dark to help you focus on what it is you want the viewer to see. So in essence, we're using exposure creatively to frame our shot. So in this case, there's a lot of people walking on this trail, but the trail is in the shadow, but the river that I'm shooting is in the light. So in essence, you know, I would expose it so that only the river or the little stream is exposed properly. So when we do the shot, we're not really seeing everybody on the trail. It's not as
busy.
you're not as busy. There you go.
I love it. Oh, it's
Nice.
so good.
Cool. Yep. Perfect. Cool subtle movement on the ferns. Nice.
Beautiful. All right, so my first tip for you is to use leading lines to get a good photograph. So this trail behind me is giving me a nice natural winding path that leads the eye right to the horizon and gives the viewer sort of a focal point in the image, and it's very, very, very pleasing to the eye. We are enjoying this beautiful day in the Muir Woods. The light is gorgeous. It's the perfect temperature. It's pretty much a dream. Luis is just getting the dang shot. Get it.
So kind of another tip. You'll notice the shadows over here of the trees coming across, and that definitely breaks your image up. I think it makes for a more interesting composition. It gives some kind of depth and some atmosphere.
Use the harsh light and the weird shadows to your advantage.
Yes, there you go. She said it much more eloquently than me.
I got you. You know what? That's so pretty. I might have to get a photo of that. Is that copying?
No, I'm shooting video. I'm shooting video. I'm not taking a photo.
I'll take the photo
take
for
the
you.
Photo.
Okay.
So another cool tip. I'm gonna steal your tip because you gave it out.
Yep.
Cool leading line right straight ahead. Kind of disappears off into the horizon. Another cool thing to do in addition to that tip is kind of changing your height level to throw maybe some foreground in. There's a cool bridge here. Kind of put the people in kind of where you're standing.
Give us some context.
Exactly. Okay, so here's a shot. I'm just gonna stand straight up. Standing up, but when you change your level, you kind of throw more lines into the equation. So now we're getting this cross beam from the bridge. It kind of splits your image up a little more. It kind of gives the eye something to look at.
Let's see.
So now we have two lines.
So that's if you were down.
Yeah. And then that's if you're
were
standing up.
All right, so my next tip is one that is very helpful when you're out in a beautiful place like we are today, and there's a lot of just natural beauty already happening. It can be really easy, especially starting out, to get really artsy with your composition and your angles and your perspectives. And while that is very, very, very good to do, and that's a great way to experiment and kind of find your artistic voice, sometimes there are things that are just already there for you. And so right over here, we have a break in the trees. We just kind of came across this as we turned the corner on the trail, and it's just kind of like right there, boom, in front of your face. And so it's sort of a really easy and obvious composition. I am just going to put Tyler right in the middle of the trees and center everything. And yeah, so my tip is to just notice what's already around you. Sometimes you don't have to make anything happen. All right, so Ty, yeah, just face your body a little more towards the tree and then look up a bit. Better than the postcard?
Definitely different. I feel like using the light in the woods, you could really be creative with it because, you know, the sun's just shining through a canopy, so you're just getting, you know, highlights and cuts and ridges that, you know, if it was just sunny, we'd really be seeing too much. I guess making use of the negative space that the canopy is creating. Okay, so one of the things I like to do to show perspective or scale is to add a subject into the shot. So here we're in the redwoods and the trees are humongous, but it's hard to get a scale for how big they are until you can maybe put someone in the frame with it. So right here I put Taylor in the light and the tree behind her. You can just see actually how big that tree is. Without her in it, it might be tough to see just how wide the base of that tree is.
My next tip is to definitely not forget about the details. It's really easy to want to kind of get the grandiose images of wherever you are. Of course, having images to show context is great, but don't forget about the details. Things like this is just a beautiful natural texture that's here and kind of a perfect image for the redwoods. So I'm gonna take a super close-up of this old log just for texture, and yeah, so that's my tip. Don't forget about the details. Another very helpful tip is if you have a frame where you don't want anybody in it, then your best bet is to stand or wait nearby and wait for people to clear. Or if you want the opposite and you actually do want a subject in your shot, get your framing and then wait for someone to walk on through. So take your time and get your frame and wait it out until you get your desired result. So that about wraps up our tips for you guys. I hope those helped.
Yeah, I hope so.
Now it's time to go through the photos I got and the footage you got.
Yeah.
And pick our postcard. All right, so Luis has some top contenders. Let's see them.
So we'll show them to you before I go with the one I think I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Okay, so here's one. This is the one where we're using the hard light and shadows to add to the composition. This is the one where I was talking about adding a subject to show scale. This is the one where I was talking about using exposure to help compose your image. And that's a detail shot that I just randomly got while I was filming. It kind of worked out.
Love it. Those are beautiful.
Amazing.
Do you know your final?
Since this is beyond the postcard, I feel like,
drum roll please,
I'm gonna go with this right here. When you're thinking about a postcard, you want the person to see it and kind of get a feeling for how it feels to be there, not just a picture of the trees. So I think this really gives the atmosphere. You see the sun kind of coming through the canopy, got a little bit of haze. I think that kind of encompasses what it feels like to walk through the Muir Woods. Not just a picture of the trees, but more of, this is kind of what you can feel when you're walking through. So that's my winner.
Yes. Killer.
Amazing.
Good work. All right, so I focused a lot on paths and leading lines for these photos, so you will see that in my final selections. The first shot is of kind of these infamous stairs here in the Muir Woods. I kind of love that the staircase kind of leading to nowhere. This is another great shot of Tyler in the trees, just really great for scale. Kind of love just like the centered subject. This one is again of a winding path. I just love that you can see the side of the path. This is very peaceful to me and very serene. So I would say this is probably my final image. That image to me just makes me feel a certain way. Like I said, it's very peaceful. It looks like a quiet place. And so I'm gonna go with this one for my postcard.
Nice.
We have our postcards.
Here we go. Who's sending it to? Who are you sending it to?
Ooh, maybe my grandma.
I'm gonna send it to, I guess I'll send it to my kid. That would be a good one. I talked to her last night and she was like, Daddy, where are you going? Now I can show her.
Yes. So hopefully you guys found some helpful tips in this video today. This phone is quite the beast.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
It is a beast.
8K video
8K
is
video,
no joke.
Yeah, in pro mode.
Pro mode. Yes, we also are filming a review of this phone and its cameras, so be sure to check that out. We go through all the specs and give you all the details. So check that one out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Let's do it.
Peace.
Shoot like a